Water stress limits plant growth and productivity, consequently turning farmers towards more drought-resistant varieties and less water-intensive crops, thereby impacting food diversity and local diets. Water scarcity can also exacerbate soil salinization and erosion, leading to long-term decline in soil fertility and agricultural productivity. Reduced agricultural output translates into the instability of food supply, economic losses for farmers, higher food prices for consumers, and broader economic and social distortion in rural areas. Cyprus is a typical example of the challenges and impact of water scarcity in the Mediterranean context. The country faces limited natural water resources compounded by a semi-arid climate and periodic droughts. Over recent decades, Cyprus has experienced a significant reduction in annual rainfall, affecting both surface and groundwater resources, with consequent implications for human welfare and the economy. First, groundwater over-extraction has led to the depletion and increased salinization of aquifers, especially in coastal regions. Second, rapid urbanization, population growth, and a booming tourism industry have further increased water demand, straining resources even more. These extreme conditions render the use of non-conventional water resources to meet water imbalances imperative, such as advanced water treatment and reuse schemes and seawater desalination. In conclusion, the Mediterranean region faces significant challenges due to climate change-driven water scarcity. Ensuring that water management strategies are inclusive and equitable, addressing the needs for vulnerable populations and promoting social cohesion is crucial. Though coordinated political interventions, innovative solutions and regional cooperations, sustainable water management can be achieved, ensuring food security, agricultural productivity, and economic stability for future generations. Dear colleagues, before I give the floor to Commissioner, I would like to present to you, through a short video we prepared for this meeting, the situation today in my country as a result of the continuous drought.
Cyprus, an island surrounded by water, yet grappling with long-standing water scarcity. This persistent challenge affects the economy, the environment, agriculture, and public health. The agricultural sector, in particular, suffers immensely. Reduced crop yields and diminished agricultural production threaten farmers' livelihoods, jeopardize food security and the social fabric in rural areas. Cyprus is a typical example of the challenges and impacts of water scarcity in the Mediterranean context. The country faces limited natural water resources compounded by a semi-arid climate and periodic droughts. In recent decades, reduced annual rainfall has affected both surface and groundwater resources, consequently impacting human welfare and the economy. In response to these challenges, Cyprus has prioritized water availability and security. Over the last decades, significant projects, including large dams with a capacity of 332 million cubic meters, one of the highest per capita in Europe, have been implemented, helping to mitigate short droughts. However, long and frequent droughts have shown that rainwater storage in dams is only a short-term solution. To tackle this problem, Cyprus turned to non-conventional water resources. Desalination has significantly enhanced water supply reliability, with 5 permanent plants currently in operation. The reuse of tertiary treated wastewater, adhering to strict quality standards since the late 90s, provides significant protection against droughts. This alternative resource is safely used for agricultural irrigation and aquifer recharge, supporting the agricultural sector. Despite these advancements, new water sources alone cannot meet the growing demand. Sustainable water management is essential. Measures include cultivating a water-saving culture, restricting borehole pumping, efficiently managing supply networks using accurate meters, and implementing pricing policies to encourage efficiency. Significant efforts have modernized irrigation systems, with 95% now using pressurized methods like drip and sprinkler irrigation, ensuring high water efficiency. Cyprus faces extended droughts that reduce dam reserves due to climate change. This forces difficult decisions like cutting irrigation water for agriculture. The future holds many challenges for the Mediterranean region. By uniting our efforts and adopting cooperative strategies, we can ensure fair, sustainable, and climate-resilient water management for both present and future generations.
Dear Commissioner, it's really an honor for us to have you for the first time in Cyprus, and I am sure that all ministers agree that your presence here today with us sends a strong message. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, dear Maria, dear ministers. Allow me to start by thanking you for your invitation to address this conference. It is my great pleasure to join you here in the beautiful surroundings of Cyprus. I welcome this very important topic of this conference, the threat of drought in Mediterranean countries, because we observe more frequent droughts throughout the Union, with growing impacts on agricultural production, on farmers' incomes, on landscapes and the environment, and ultimately on our food security. We must face these trends and ensure the resilience of our farmers. In particular, we need to support the adoption of more sustainable water management practices with advanced irrigation techniques and water-saving technologies, with more resilient species and with improved soil management. In all of these areas, support can come through the Common Agricultural Policy. Your CAP strategic plans are powerful tools. They can support farmers who have suffered damage from droughts, while also enabling them to build their resilience over the longer term, but encouraging adaptation and incentivizing the sustainable use of water. For example, rural development funding can support investments in physical assets to alleviate the situation in areas hit by droughts and to avoid any further damages. Examples include investments that contribute to water saving and the sustainable management of water, including water storage, investments to renovate and maintain irrigation systems that avoid the loss of water or employ precision farming techniques, and investments to construct new or improved infrastructure for challenging recycled water for irrigation purposes. The Common Agricultural Policy can also support your farmers in more sustainable water management, for example, in the use of more resilient species or better adapted crops, in the management of soil to increase its water retention capacities, and in the development of landscape features, which can also have a positive role on the water retention capacity of land. I encourage you to use the available CAP tools to their full potential. In this, you have the full support and cooperation of the European Commission. I will also remind you that with the changes introduced to the CAP strategic plans, Member States can now change their strategic plans more often, which allows for more amendments to the plans. Before I conclude, I would like to welcome the initiative taken by President of Mediterranean 9, Minister Panayotou, to summarize the conclusions of these discussions in a declaration. This declaration highlights a number of important issues related to the problem of water scarcity. It is clear that we have continued to our work on these issues, both European and national levels. From a European perspective, sustainable water management has been referenced in both the strategic agenda adopted by the European Council and in the political guidelines for the next mandate of the Commission. As mentioned in the political guidelines, a water resilience strategy will be tabled by the next college. I welcome that you have placed resilience at the center of your declaration. Coming back to the beginning of my speech, the danger of drought continues to grow, but our response is also growing. It is growing stronger and more coordinated. By continuing this response and by continuing to build our resilience, we can overcome the threat of drought and ensure that our farmers can provide food security across the entire Union and for years to come. On that note, I thank you for your time and look forward to our further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now we'll take some time for the press to go out of the room, and we will continue without the media.